We sat in the dark, me and you. When you took my hand, I thought I knew.
What is your name and what is your age?
My name is Kerri and I am 16 years old.
Hey, my name is Isabel, I'm 18.
My name is Maggie and I'm 17 years old.
Hi, my name is Hiwot and I'm 17 years old. My name is Sofia Zapata Vanderlyn and I'm 17 years old.
My name is Shannon and I am 17 years old.
Would you consider yourself a feminist?
Definitely, I mean, I would hope that everyone would consider themselves a feminist, yeah.
Yes and no.
Explain.
I do believe in equal rights between men and women, but I don't go around telling other people that I am a feminist.
I'm a feminist because I believe in equal rights for all people, regardless of your gender.
I couldn't imagine not being a feminist. What would that mean, that I don't believe in equality for myself? That seems ridiculous.
How do you face sexism in your life?
Yeah, like since birth, because like my dad is Mexican and he's like this really macho Mexican sexist man. And he believes that like a girl should obey her husband, cook him food right when he gets home. My cousins are the same way, like you have to serve them. And just like the girls are below the boys, the women are supposed to be in the kitchen. Like I can't sit a certain way when I'm with my dad or in LA. I can't wear certain things. Like people, like I have been told by my aunts and uncles not to wear an outfit.
Sometimes I face sexism at home as well because I have an older brother and I feel like a lot of times people treat him differently because he's a guy and I'm a younger sister as well, so they always say, oh Calvin, you carry this because you're the guy, you're the brother, and Shannon just like, you know, don't carry any of it, you don't need to.
Throughout my life, like I can pinpoint moments where people were really sexist or they just beat me down, and I felt like, you know, if I was a boy it would be different.
Have you been catcalled before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, all the time in East LA.
Yes.
When was like the first time you remember being catcalled?
I was walking to BART and I was wearing a shorter pair of shorts and I was walking on the BART trail and a man just goes, hey, why don't you come over here and show me what you can do with those legs? And I was like, oh, excuse me, I'm 14, so.
I think I was 12 in East LA. I was wearing shorts. And like literally those guys in those trucks and vans will like, it doesn't matter, as long as they see that you're a girl, they'll honk at you and they'll catcall at you.
Yeah.
Like this is super messed up and it has to do with catcalling, but I was chased down the street at 14, like 3 blocks. I was chased by this guy and he was like in his 40s and he was like, you know, you're just so beautiful, I had to come after you and you know, can I have your number? I really want to go out on a date with you, like I think, you know, you're beautiful, you have great legs. And I was scared because he was so much older than me, but then I remember thinking, and sometimes I still think, well, you know, maybe I should have given him my number because he's the only guy who's ever pursued me in that way or said I was like so beautiful he had to run, you know, after me.
Why do you think people catcall?
They just don't care. Like when people do stupid shit, people just don't care enough to think about the consequences of what they're doing. Truly. They just don't have the decency to think before they talk.
Do you feel like there are like expectations from society to like look and act a certain way as like a woman?
Yeah, just because like with all these models, the girls are, I like struggled with this a lot in 7th grade. Because like I was skinny and everyone like, even my cousin, like he once told me, he was like, you're so skinny, like black and Mexican girls are supposed to have like big boobs and big butts. What happened to you?
I feel like since the past there's always the ideal body and the ideal like face, and there was just like a whole character that society made for a woman to be, you know, tall and skinny, blonde with blue eyes. I mean, Eurocentric beauty standards are everywhere, all the time. I mean, I try to love myself, but I'm gonna suck my belly in no matter what. Like, I just can't stop.
What do you think it means to be a woman?
Yeah, to be a woman is to be fearless, is to be brave, is to be awesome.
You are strong, and you identify as a woman. I think to be a woman, it means to care.
I think being a woman means you have to try harder in certain areas of your life. You have to be more aware of what people think is just society's kind of standards have created this.
Have you ever felt insecure about yourself?
Yes. Yes. I think I started having insecurities when I was like in middle school. I don't know, like with all the shows I watched a lot of TV in middle school, and I still do now. With all the shows I watched, I didn't really see people that like were totally like me. Like if they were black, they were always like light skinned, or they had like super like curly hair, and like I don't know, I kind of felt insecure mainly because of my hair. That was kind of like the main thing. I didn't really pay attention to my skin. I didn't really care that it was dark. Like, I love my skin, and it wasn't like a big thing, but it was. I would have to say the root of my insecurities would have to be my hair.
I don't know. In the past, like my mom has told me, like, you know, your personality. If you keep on acting the way you do, like people are gonna think that you're ugly. And so like she used to like never call me beautiful. She just started like 2 years ago, and like that still like kind of hits. And like since elementary school, I've been called ugly so many times, like by everyone. So and like my cousins called me ugly. Like Alex is the more beautiful twin. You're ugly. Like so I had insecurities then. I still do now, just like because of like my size. Like I lost a little weight. My mom was like, "Oh, you look like you have an eating disorder." Like my dad was like, "You should eat more." Clothes really baggy on you.
How do you feel about the female body?
Well, I do art, and that's the only thing that I like to draw is actually the female body. I think there's a lot to explore, and there's a lot there, and it's really beautiful to me. I mean, all women's bodies and men's bodies, there's, you know, maybe you can look at a certain body and say like, okay, that's what I want, that's not what I want, but I think more what I see is how different we all are, and also how interesting each body is. There's like, especially the woman's body, there's curves, and there's lumps, and there's flat parts, and there's smooth skin, and there's rough skin, and there's just so much to each person. It's really fascinating.
I think it's beautiful. I think the first thought that came into my mind was my mom. She's not the most secure person about herself, but I think she's beautiful, and I just wish I could tell her that.
Okay, is there anything else you would want to say about like body image or self-love or body positivity?
Yeah, there's no right body. There's no right way to live your life or like look. Like your appearance is your appearance.
You and I have actually talked about this.
Yes.
About what fat means, and you are the one who like first pointed out to me that fat isn't a bad word. It's just like a descriptive word, and it has like negative connotations put on it by society, but it just is just another way to describe yourself.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can still be fat, and you can definitely still be beautiful if you are fat.
I think body positivity and loving yourself, these things are easy to talk about. They're easy to say. Love yourself for who you are. Look in the mirror and try to find something beautiful. But it takes work. it's not gonna come just like that. And I'm saying it because I'm not there yet. But hopefully someday I will be.
Looked in my eyes.